All right, let's kick it. We're talking training. And what better way to start the video than a quote from legendary Greek philosopher, 5th century BC Athens, Socrates, the legend himself. No citizen has the right to be an amateur in the matter of physical training, for it is a disgrace to never see the beauty and strength of which one's body is capable. Now the video could end right there, because that is the real power of being a great speaker. You say so much with just a few words. And that's one of the reasons we still speak about Socrates, his student Plato, his student Aristotle to this day, because they were able to articulate such amazing ideas with as few words as possible. Nonetheless, I will expand on it just a fair bit. Let's get training. I mean, if anything, I just felt like it's time to push this message out, because I had the realization, this stuff doesn't last forever, and like the end of that quote, you get to a certain point in life to where you won't be able to train as much as you might like to, or even at all. All right, if you see older people in the gym, usually they have recently gotten into fitness, and they'll always tell you a story of like, man, I wish I was doing this 20 years ago because I feel so good now. I feel better than I did back when I was in my 20s drinking or doing whatever it was. And for me, I'm 30 years of age, and I wish I capitalized more on all my opportunities and all the chances I had to train. I mean, I have trained. I've been in martial arts, interested in it since I was a child, and I've been training since I was a teenager. Now, the opportunities that I thrust myself into, that I found, I could have taken more. I could have chewed more on that bone, so to say. I mean, I'll give you a personal example. In my early 20s, I moved to Kansas City, and for the sole purpose of joining this pro boxing gym. And it was the real deal. I'll save you the details and the lore, so to say. Authentic Boxing Club, love it. Changed my life there, down in the basement gym down there. And best training I've ever received, especially in terms of striking. And I left the gym to pursue a business opportunity, right? And the business worked out, made money. It's still working to this day, literally today. But I built it up after about 2.5 years, and then I was just missing training so much. Like, man, I want to go back. And got on my ducks in a row enough to where I felt like, I was like, well, I can still go back to the city like 3 days a week and train at the gym. And as soon as I had this plan sort of 75% formulated, I'm like, I'm gonna be up there training in 2 weeks. Coach dies. And forget my plan. That losing somebody who was such an amazing mentor to me beyond the ring in life was tough. It was eye-opening, heartbreaking, really. But I say that story just to articulate the point that the opportunities that are in front of you will not be there forever. Whatever gym you're thinking about going to, or whatever training opportunity you might have, it's not going to be there in 2 years. If you don't go, you're going to have to look back and go, man, I could have done that. I'm 30 years of age, freaking white belt. Now, I'm a nasty white belt roll for sure, but at the end of the day, if I'd have been committed to grappling the last 5 years, who knows where I'd be right now, right? It's one of those things. So that's what I'm telling you guys, man. If you're fit, there's kids in this gym I go to that are 16, been wrestling for 4 years, been doing jiu-jitsu for 2 years. I'm thinking, man, if only. Didn't have those kind of resources where I'm from, but nonetheless, that's the way to do things. If you're that age, you should be after. If you're 18, 19, early 20s, man, get in the gym. It's your responsibility, in my humble opinion. And if you're 30 like me or older, no better time to make it happen right now, man. You know, for real. You should know. If you're my age or older, you ain't getting any younger. The 20s don't come back. And that's what I say to the young guys, man. Those days, they're not coming back. So capitalize on them. Last night, hit 4 rounds back to back to back to back. And couldn't go the 5th. My rear delts were just zapped. The super heavyweight comes up. He's like, you want to roll? I'm like, dude, yes, but hell no. You know what I mean? Like, I had this inclination. If I roll with you, I might be hurt tomorrow. I might be out of the game. I might not be able to come back to training on Friday. You know, so but I can remember being, 18 in the early 20s, just put round after round after round in and just be able to go the next day, early morning, like, let's just make it happen. And that durability doesn't last, man. It doesn't. I'm not in any shit, but the people who are older than me, they're all on stuff. I mean, the best jiu-jitsu guys in the world, they're all on gear. But a lot of people are on gear just so they can keep training all the time, I won't go to that because I want to see what the body itself is capable of, powered by the mind. Now, where to train, how to train. If you've never trained before, I recommend private lessons. It's a great way to get your feet wet. You get one-on-one immersive instruction, and you can level up a lot faster than just with group instruction. Because in group settings, it kind of ends up being, you see a few things demonstrated, and you're working with other people who are trying to figure it out too. And if you have the right mind for that, it'll work. But certainly private lessons will serve you. Now, there's going to be a bit of a budget involved. I understand that. But even on the other end of the spectrum, it's like, if you're like, I can't afford gym fees, because the jiu-jitsu clubs and the fight clubs, they're getting pretty pricey nowadays. Even if you can't afford that, man, find 2, 3, 4 other guys that want to train, go in together on some rollout mats, and then cycle through at everybody's house and just pull up YouTube and watch that stuff. You can learn on YouTube, man. If you got one person that has a look-see-do mindset, you can really level up with the stuff on the internet. There's so many people breaking down instructionals, giving really high-level, in-depth studies on techniques and how to improve your game and certain assets. So there's really no excuse, man. There's no reason not to. You don't even need a gym. I recommend you have a coach, but truthfully, if you are dedicated enough to just get started on your own, you commit to that, eventually a gym and coaching resources will find you, because that is the natural order of this world. So I don't know how much longer I can go on and on about it. Probably infinitely, because I love this stuff. But everybody train. This modern idea is that tomorrow is guaranteed and other people hit the grave, but you never will. And it's all a fallacy. It's all an illusion. Your days are numbered, and you don't know how many numbers you've got. So just make the most of it. And ladies, highly encourage it. It'll help the confidence for sure. But if you are of the Y chromosome, I believe it's inexcusable. You must train some capacity. If you got sons, they should be wrestling and boxing as a standard. You don't got to go compete or try to win titles and stuff like that. But these are skills that you should have as a male, just like reading and writing. You should be able to read and write. You should be able to box and wrestle at a basic level, 100%. They go hand in hand, right? I like to pull another one out of the hat. I hate the fact that I'm not sure I'd be able to name him, but whoever's country is, the one, right? Whoever's country is ruled by guys who can't fight, you're ruled by cowards. And if your warriors aren't intellectuals, then the fighting is done by barbarians. Chopped and broke that. I'm going to have to internalize that one because I really like it. So embarrass myself not being able to pull the rabbit out of the hat there. But you get the point, man. You'll be a warrior and a scholar all in one, because that's your society can degrade if you're just a bunch of savage barbarians, but we're on the other end of the spectrum right now. Everybody's a bunch of armchair philosophers and I know this and I know that, but what are you gonna do if somebody slaps you in the mouth? You got nothing. You're gonna politic your way to, and that's the thing that I hate to go there, but the opposite gender doesn't understand about us is that at the fundamental level, that is the language we all speak. All men speak combatives, and there's a lot of people nowadays, they want to pretend like it's outdated because they aren't fluent. Not alone are they not fluent, they don't even know the basic alphabet, right? And that's what I'm throwing down right now. That's what I'm putting out there, is that you don't got to go try to be world champion or none of that nonsense. Personally, I find the gladiatorial stuff to be here nor there. That's a whole different topic. But the skills are paramount. Have basic boxing, basic wrestling fundamentals, have the conditioning to deploy those skills. And once you go from there, perhaps you go into combatives, right? Know how to use knives, melee weapons, firearms, know how to shoot and move. So again, more topics we can discuss later. But right now, get to training. I wore the rash guard for this video specifically for this purpose, all right? So get out there on the mats, hit the bag, find some sparring partners, and let's make it happen.